The next tool we're going to talk about here is a useful extension called Construction Line Conversion. And to find that, it's under the Extension Warehouse. If you click on Extension Warehouse and type in Construction Line, here is the extension for it. Just go ahead and open it up and install that Construction Line. And what that's going to do is allow us to turn lines and edges that we've created in our drawing to construction guides. And that can be useful for a lot of reasons. I've used it for windows, for steppers, and we'll just kind of get into it now. So I'm going to open my tool up, and it is under, if you right click the toolbar, it's under line conversion, and here is what that looks like. So for example, let's say we have a window on our house here that we want to save the area that it's at, but we want to actually get rid of the the lines that we've drawn for this window, because maybe we want to put in another window that we found on 3D Warehouse. So all you're going to do is you're just going to select the window that you want to turn into construction guides, and then just click that button, and then that changes everything to guidelines. So you can do that with tape measure, but you'd have to keep bringing the tape measure down to each side. So this can be helpful for a lot of reasons. I found it pretty helpful to do things like when you bring in steppers from, let's say, an AutoCAD model. Maybe these steppers are in your model, it's all drawn out. When you go to push pull your stepper, they're not actually all grouped together. Basically what you're looking to do, and we haven't really covered this yet, but what we're going to do eventually is start grouping these, and then we're going to make a component. So making a component is basically, and we'll get into this a little bit later, but it's basically making sure that when you pull one of these up, all of these will come up at the same time. So it's just like it copies itself all the way through. So here's an example of how that would work. We have, let's say we brought in these steppers for our model, and we want to, make these all components, but you can't just do it like this. You can't make a component. If you try to make a component, it's just going to do one individually. It's not going to actually all be the same. So you only need to do one, but you got to copy and bring a stepper for each one. So let me show you just how that works. It might be easier to just do it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and left click, drag, select all of the steppers, and we're going to go ahead and hit the construction lines. So now we've got a placeholder essentially. And what we'd want to do here is just create a rectangle, follow that rectangle again, create it right there. And then we're going to go ahead and make a component out of this stepper. And we're just going to call it stepper. Create. And now when we go ahead to copy this, all the way down, and we're going to do X times, 5 more? Oh, sorry, X6. There we go. So now when we go to push pull this, we can actually do that for all of these steppers. So you can see just one stepper will actually make all of these the same. So it's really helpful to be able to do things quickly with that construction line. And like I said, we're going to get into the making components, making groups in a later lesson. But this is really the application that I would use it for. So construction line tool is really, really helpful.